So, I'll just leave it like that. What I've done is I've propped my camera so you can absorb the area that I'm sitting in. Mute the volume, turn on some music, I don't know. Or else you can listen to me ramble about stuff. What I'm doing now is I'm on this green area. I'd like you to see around, but I'm not adjusting this camera. It's actually, what I'm using is a piece of a branch off a tree. There's some trees there around, you know. No dead tree. I didn't damage any trees in the process. This was just extra wood I found in the ground. So don't worry about that. Don't start attacking me over destroying the environment while trying to show how beautiful it can be. But today I just want to talk about a few things, like the radio, and the people you meet in general, and health. So, my idea is to keep this about 30 minutes long, because I see YouTube channels and they have their 10-minute, 15-minute videos. For me, for myself, like, it's 15 minutes is kind of not long enough to get absorbed in anything, take in anything. So I'm going to make this 30 minutes if I can, because 30 minutes I think is an ideal time. If you can make it longer, you can make it longer. The problem with most stuff you see, what I like, is around an hour and a half, 2 hours, so I can kind of have a nap and not really, I just listen to it and doze off. And yeah, if I'm going for a nap, I can't be flicking through 10-minute videos and stuff. Actually, opposing to that, there's a time for short video. Like, I'd be looking for lessons to play a song and stuff, and the guy shits on about 20 minutes on how to play a 3-minute song. Like, all he has to say to me is play GCD for the verse, and CDE minor for the chorus, or something like that, and the bridge is something else, and then back to the verse. But he talks for 20 minutes about his guitar, he talks about his technique and stuff. Kind of, sometimes you just want the basic information. Well, anyway, we're not here to talk about that today, but we are here to talk about the radio, because growing up, I had a big choice in radio channels on FM. 4. Yep. A whole 4 radio channels. Obviously, it's not like today you pick your own music and stuff, but there's a lot of crap on the radio when I was growing up. It was like the 80s, early 90s. But there was dedicated shows to certain types of music. So if you wanted to listen to kind of alternative rock stuff, there was a guy, I never really got into him much. I liked the music he was playing, but he babbled on too much before each tune. Obviously that was his job, because they had to pay royalties to the musicians that were playing. And that was Dave Fanning, his name is. He's a good music journalist, but he's kind of, he goes on too long for me. Anyway, then there was an Irish station which had kind of world music on it. There's all weird stuff and whatever, but I used to listen to it at times because the only other option was this show. He was a famous DJ in Ireland called Larry Gogan. He had an afternoon slot. Once he had this chart show, and that was on around 7 in the evening. And you have it on the paper and it'd be hyped up. But like, we only had 4 channels in the area. There's a couple, the area I'm from is a valley, and the signals couldn't get through. Right. But anyway, I did resort to getting into tuning in on medium wave and long wave. There used to be Atlantic 252 when it started out. It was good, but then it went crap, even though it was in long wave. And even resorted to shortwave radio because it's the only way you could hear music. We were like 20 miles from the nearest record shop. You had to order stuff, so the availability wasn't there, and you appreciated music more. But the whole issue was there's a law in Ireland, and you have to have the news on every hour. Every hour, right? And it goes on for 10 minutes. Sports. Like, can you not just let me put on the sports radio show or whatever? I know who won the football, I know who won the horse race and golf and tennis and whatever other nonsense, but I really want to just turn on the radio to listen to some music. I don't mind commercials so much. It was like 3, but then went off and played another. They had a chat about the song. Like I said, the Dave Fanning guy, he would give you good information and background around the band, and if you're really interested in it, it was a good show. But if you weren't interested, like you were listening to him talk 15 minutes about a band and then play one song that you didn't like because you were waiting an hour to hear him play something you did like. But he got a lot of Irish bands up there. He done good music, good work for the Irish music industry. But this whole thing about news every hour, like, I don't know why that is. Like, if they said the weather every hour, like, we want to know, is it going to rain, is it going to snow or something? But to be honest, like, the news, 99% of the stories, while they do affect you, you can't do anything about it. And especially thinking about it every hour. Like, the government has made a new law, whatever. And you can't, like, I don't know who they are to really decide. They were elected, but they get elected and they're lining their own pockets and stuff, and the radio's just pushing their names out, and they pretend to be critical of them, but at the same time they're very defensive of them. Like, you can't go on and say he's a thief. You'd be cut off. He's corrupt, and the political party doesn't represent anyone. It's all about rich businessmen, and in Ireland before, big farmers. Now it's these lobbying groups that have all the pharmaceutical industry. Oh, this is so-called great for the economy, but like, just say I became a trillionaire overnight, like, could happen. I have to be positive, but right, and I packed my bags, and I moved to some really like North Sentinel Island. There you go. I'll get killed, but straight away. But if I went to North Sentinel Island, right, and I just said to the people, I got someone to speak their language or something, to say to them that, look, I have a lot of money, which means you can, in modern society, you can buy things and whatever. You can, as long as you have me here, everything's fine. You'll have food, you'll have arrows and to hunt your food, and you can sit around at your campfires every night and move on and whatever. But like, I'd improve the economy there immediately, wouldn't I? So they're not going to start saying things bad about me if they realise that they don't have to go hunt and they can get their medicines and all this, and they won't feel ill anymore, and twisted ankle's not going to kill them anymore, and but they are indigenous people and they want to live like that, and it's good, and we should leave them alone. But anyway, I won't be going there anytime soon, especially since I don't have $1 trillion. Right, anyway, but they the radio won't say anything against these groups. Like, I've never heard any connection between Ireland's pharmaceutical industry and the whole prescription medication thing. Like, I live in a town and you can't. Every time you walk up the street, this shiny thing notices you, and it's some kind of medication. And if you were just bored and you said, "I'll Google that and what's that for," and you're there like, "That's a sleeping tablet or a tranquilizer kind of a thing." What the hell is someone taking that on the street for? Like, okay, maybe you take it in your room or whatever at night and go sleep, or take it in the day and go sleep, but you don't actually take it walking along the street. And there's all these social problems, and there's one of these places that manufacture, like, it's not obvious that people in this industry, like, they're only tablets. It's easy to throw a few packs in my pocket after work. I don't know what the security's like in places, but anyway, or even a box of them, like, and then the employees, they're not really from Ireland. Like, it's not beneficial to the locals. They have this, oh, we have a factory, we have lots of trucks going up and down, and these people are working in it, and people are spending money locally. And, well, they're not spending it locally. They're spending it locally in their own shops. They won't eat bacon and cabbage. They don't eat bacon. They don't eat the potatoes. They don't eat our onions. Our food is crap according to them, but they want to live in our country, and the radio won't touch on these topics because they have to get a license off the government to broadcast, and they're not going to say that. And anyway, they're dying off anyway, so who cares about them? And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're at work or you're sitting at home, and you could be in hospital and the radio will be playing, and you're lying in your bed, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, just play some music and cheer me up. And actually, I noticed the music all they play is melancholy, depressing stuff. Like, or it's overhyped feel-good stuff. Like, the people play nothing upbeat that'll give you an energy during the day and something relaxing at night, and they don't. They just play this. It's like someone with multiple personalities or something. Like, I know this is Germany. I mean, now this morning I heard Bill Withers on the radio. Nice way to start the day. It's going to be a lovely day on the radio. Brilliant song. I don't know how he holds that note for so long. But after that, they played some kind of a cover of Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. It wasn't that energetic song that Britney came out with in the original song, which is not my style of music. But at least I could tolerate it. But this other version, it was a real slowed down version of this song. Like, and these people go out, put the name out, and to do a cover or something, and it's horrible. It's not even the style. Like, it's crap, and the radio is pushing it out, and because they're sent money by these record companies and promoters to play this junk. So, like, you might as well just open your radio, and if it was an old analog style, and just disconnect the antenna altogether and use your cassette player or CD player if it has one. But because a lot of them older ones have great sound, and the old radios, box stops type things, instead of just tin can sound of phones and all. Anyway, that's my rant on the radio, about the radio. And now the people you meet. Even worse. There's a quote by a famous philosopher. I'm no good at names. Diogenes or something. I'd rather trust a dog than a man, because a dog doesn't pretend to be your friend or something like that. It is. And honestly, the people I meet these days, my conversations are all transactional. I'm not a loner. I am a loner in a way that I go off on my own abroad and just go and enjoy the scenery in other countries and stuff. And then when I come home, someone will say, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?" "Yeah, fine." "Where were you? Were you in hospital?" "No." "Were you in rehab?" "No." Were you? Where were you?" I was in Portugal for a couple of months. And they're like, "Oh, you must have good money if you..." And I didn't know. I said, "You're able to get drunk every day. It's like €2 for 1.5 litre of beer. So like 10 of them, it's €20, right? And if you're drinking every day, you'll build up a tolerance. So maybe 15 will probably make you drunk. You'll be drunk anyway, but you won't feel drunk, if you know what I mean, and be mentally drunk anyway. Like they're just topping up. So let's say €30 a day by 7, that's €210 a week, and plus your cigarettes, plus your rent and bills. You must have a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? I go back to Ireland, I'm basically stuck in my room. I do 4 hours volunteering a day, and not every day, but the reason I do it is so I'm not sitting at home using my electricity, even if it's just boiling cups of coffee, for water for tea and coffee, and heating on, and maybe even a fire lighting, because in Ireland it's just damn cold. You don't have this big snow stuff really much, but it's just damn cold. But yeah, these people think you've a lot of money because you're able to go away. To be honest, I'm in Germany, and I got my flight for €30. I pay €20 a night when I'm staying, because I'm a good networker. I know how to talk to people, and when I'm here, I'm either on my laptop, because I get the peace. I get more peace, or I'm out walking. I go in places for a coffee or cola or whatever, and I just go back to my room and I look at YouTube or whatever, and it's interesting. It's cheap holiday. I'm not going into all the local attractions. I do some photography, but I'll be out in nature doing the photography. Look at this plant, and over there in the distance you can see a weeping willow. I can see eagles here earlier. I would have liked to give it, but I don't have I didn't bring my camera this time because I'm getting old and it's a long journey. Camera is just extra weight. Like it might be only a couple of 100 grams, but in the end, it all adds up along with a laptop, charger, and this, that, and the other, and jeans. Really, jeans get heavy in the bag. Like you don't think it. You put 3 jeans in a backpack, and it starts feeling heavy after a while. Like if you're carrying that around for an hour and you have to wait on a train connection or bus connection for an hour or two, it kind of gets heavy along with all this stuff. So I try and travel light as possible, and I pick up cheap clothes depending where I am in the world. And I find European clothes are a bit cheaper because they're financially cheaper, and they're a little more fashionable. When you go back to Ireland, they're just different and they look different. I'm not walking around the usual Primarks. So I kind of save money that way, and tobacco's cheaper, and I kind of pay that. But anyway, the people I meet every day, it's just transaction. I was in my I'm not going to even say hotel in case people misinterpret me. It's called a pension, and I was in my room and I was lying there relaxing. I was after being walking a lot in the woods and relaxing, and this person I know, he called me up and said, "Oh, I need you to come to my house." I said, "Oh, wait now, it's 7 in the evening. I'm not 100% tired," and I didn't say I was in Germany. But I said it's 7 in the evening. And I'm tired, and you could have sent me a message this morning and said, "Can you come this evening to look at my TV? It's not working," because I'm not an emergency tech repair guy. And this guy wouldn't even give me some money. He's like, I recovered his laptop before, and it was, I said, "Okay, now, you happy with it?" "Yes." "Now, that'll be €30. "Hey, what do you," he's from Croatia. He's actually a Jewish Croatian, which I don't know. When I lived in Croatia, they'd never heard of one, but I don't know. But he says, €30 is much money." I say, wait, remember I got you, you asked me to help you out with your payment thing, and you had to put in your income. It was 2,200 a month. I said, I live on less than 1,000 a month. And I started this yesterday evening, and I've put in like 6 hours work, and I'm asking you for 30 bloody euro because you're a friend. He was saying I was ripping him off. I said, "I'm over in your house now. The food has me I have at home is going bad. I'll get home. I share a house with other people, and it's very awkward to find cooking times and stuff, and they make noise and stuff, and you'd be too tired to cook your meat, and it's why I kind of buy stuff with a longer shelf life, and I don't want to go down the road of just eating processed stuff." But he I said, like, and then I'm tired and I want a coffee and a sandwich, and it's going to cost me €10 at least. "I don't want your food. I don't eat that kind of food," I said to him. "I don't want any of your food. I have my own food at home, and I'm going home to eat that. And I don't, it's not worth all this €30 I was asking for him even." And he refused. He was refusing to pay me. And anyway, I told him the next time he called up, I said, yeah. He says, what? Well, I said, what's the problem? And he said, I have the same problem again. I said, okay, tell you what. Go to the computer shop, bring it in there, let him do his work, and he'll ask me you for maybe 70, 80 euro. And then pay him, and then come back to me, and when I ask you for 30 or 40 euro, just don't complain. So, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. I said at the video, I should have brought a notepad with me, but you see, my this memory's gone because you get sidetracked. So we're going to have to change the topic. The life in general thing. I think it was life in general. You see, I'm here now. I'm standing up because I'm going to have to pull on my pulley. It's starting to rain. And life for me it's so weird because I come to these places and I feel so alive and I get in fresh air, but somehow I have this thing that I'm from Ireland. I was born there, I had no choice in the matter, and I grew up there, and some things were nice about it and other things were damn right horrible. The classism, the general harshness of life in it, in some ways, that you have to have a car, and if you don't have money you can't afford to get a car, and you can't earn any money. You used to be able to go to a job, any kind of crap job, and do some overtime to cover the low wages, but you're not even able to do that anymore because even the regular hours are filled up with these low paid workers, and they don't understand the rules, and so they can just be exploited, and that's all they're doing. They're just being exploited, and it's good for nobody and no economy. And I just, there's just like nothing there for me, and I was born, and now I've got this long-term illness because of the jobs I do, and I developed arthritis, and I'm fine today, and tomorrow I'll wake up and I can't put on my jumper, and I can't get out of bed, and I have pains in my hips and knees and stuff, so I can't say to anybody I'm going to work for 40 hours a week, let alone the overtime to make up the stuff. And then because I'm living with other people, I've developed anxiety, like, I can't make this much noise, I can't enjoy things, even making videos like this I can't express myself because there's people in the house all the time, and they're not working, and they're nuts, and they drink a lot, and they fall around the place, and I'm trying to have a conversation with someone, and there's somebody getting sick in the back room, and I'm trying to tell people that my life is okay, and it's in general, and then they hear someone getting sick in the back room, and I have to explain that about them, and explain that they don't. I'm hungry because I went into my kitchen and it was a mess, and I don't care about food. I wasted all my money this week because I didn't want to go shopping for groceries because I didn't know when I was going to be able to cook them, and I fed up throwing my food out to the cats, even although I like cats, but I don't know. So I rant on here on YouTube, and people may have a problem that I go abroad. Oh, you can travel, you can travel. I can travel or stay at home and go crazy. Like, it's the two options I have. My GP sent a letter to the housing like 2 years ago, and another health professional. They both signed this document that I paid €30 for, and the housing got it, and it states on it that I have this illness and so what, and I have issues with people drinking in my home, and I'm a long time in recovery, and I don't want to be surrounded by alcohol, and I need a different kind of accommodation because I to go upstairs and have a bit of vertigo, and yeah, and this has been ignored, and they're coming to my house soon to inspect it for livability, like, because it's not a branch and I don't want to see them, so I just gave someone the key if they want to look in my room. But it's fine, the building is fine, and most of the people are okay, but there's two people there, and they're drinking themselves into bigger problems, and they're all arguing with each other. It's over electricity and gas and things. One guy doesn't want to pay gas. He says he's from Russia. It's a lot colder. And they're like, yeah, well, you're in Ireland, and Russia's a different kind of cold. It's dry cold, and you have a different diet and different kinds of buildings and stuff. And the Irish guy, he's complaining about it, and I knew him. It's funny how he's in the house, because I met him because I was in this room. I was staying in this room, and I was like 3 years there, and then I was another 2 years in another place. And both places, they didn't sign documentation so I could get subsidies. So I was left living basically on very little money. The thing is, when you have very little money, you can't have any incentive to save up for anything. You can't do anything, and actually, you want to fill in the short-term pleasure thing, and you'll turn to alcohol, gambling, whatever, or drugs or whatever, and you'll turn into that because you don't have enough money to go kayaking or go skiing or go hiking in the mountains or whatever. And I actually ended up becoming homeless, and I went to this shelter place, and I met that guy there, and he was always dressed well, and he seemed kind of normal. But obviously in a homeless place, the guys all have problems there and issues. But he inherited nearly €100,000 from his uncle who died, and he moved out and he had his own flat room. But he was in the pub every day, and next thing I got an apartment, a room, because I was fed up waiting on this promised land thing from the homeless place. They said I had to do this, that, and the other, and I had to stop drinking, I had to stop this, and I had to go do this, and I had to go do that, and I kind of didn't stick with their system. What I done was, I said, right, you're telling me to look on the private market for accommodation. I said, my last two landlords, I fell out with them, and that's the last 5 years of my life, and I don't have a reference when anyone asks, and if I get a reference off you, it's not a real proper reference, because it's written by some authority, and they just want to make you look good so you get a house. Well, actually, they want to make you homeless and keep you homeless, because they will lose their job if you find a house. But anyway, I was in one of the guys who had got a flat, and I was like 4 months alcohol free, without any of this AA nonsense or whatever. And I seen the guy in the house, and I said, "What's he doing here?" Thought he had a load of money. We weren't good enough to talk to him anymore. He says, "Oh, he's staying with me. He got kicked out of his other place." I said, "Oh, yeah, he probably drank too much and whatever." He said, "I don't know. He, whatever. However, he lost the house, whatever, room." And then he was there, and I went up a few days later, and somehow my so-called friend told him in front of my face that there was a room going in my house, because he heard from somewhere else or seen it on one of those rental sites or whatever. And I said, yeah, because when I knew him in the homeless place, he wasn't a nice guy either, but I thought he'd be clean around the place, but he's not. And all his money was gone, and before I knew it, like, he was in heavy arrears and stuff in the accommodation. And I gave him the number because I believe in giving people a chance, but yeah, I probably don't get the chances because of people like him. They get chances and they fuck them up, and then they stop people trying to help anyone, and it's horrible. And he's aggressive, and he was fighting with these Russian guys' friends, and he came down with a stick, and he was attacking them, and he's not strong, and he's not a big good fighter, and he's aggressive, but he's not a good fighter. And I was there, you realise what you're doing. Them guys are from Russia. They're renowned to chop people up and put them in suitcases and stuff. Stop fucking around with them. And he calls police when the guys are drinking. I'm saying, you were drunk the other night, and I said nothing. You went in, dirtied the kitchen, and I said nothing. I didn't call the police. That guy's working hard, and he comes home at night, and at the weekend they might have a few beers, and maybe it goes on a bit. But I said, like, you're no angel either. And yeah, and he got me. He started trying to think he could bully me around, and I pushed him back, and he landed on the floor, and I went back to my room, and next thing the police were at the door, and I said, "Whoa, what's this about?" And he says, "We heard you assaulted him." And I said, "I did not." I said, I stopped him hitting me, and he fell on the ground. And I ended up getting fined €300 by the court and put on probation for a year because of this asshole. And he's still living there, and the landlord won't kick him out because of this stupid eviction ban. And obviously the landlord's running a business, and if he lets him go and he has arrears, he'll never get the money back. And it's this whole thing about helping out people, and I could ask you for help. I said, well, just the only help I'm asking you for is to tip me €1 or $1, whatever you have. And help me. If enough people done it, I'd be able to travel around, and I just want to get away from this social thing and this dump of a house. And I'm happy here, and I speak the language. I lived here for 5 years, not in this city, but another area of the country. And of course, they're not going to help me out if I don't know. I'm on this housing thing in Ireland since 2008, and they haven't helped me, and it's nearly 20 years. 20 years, what's that? 17 years? Not much of your life, is it? Being unstable, don't know where you're going and what you're going to do. Meantime, you see these houses getting built, and there's all these strange people. Every morning I wake up, I open my curtains and I look out, and I'm there, what's this woman in the headscarf? Where's she come from? whatever. Yeah, well, they have to help these people out there fleeing war. They're not. They are fleeing the crimes they committed in their own homes. If I come to Germany and I committed some kind of serious crime in Ireland, they'll know about it and I'll be sent back to Ireland. That's it. But with them people, they throw away their passports and stuff, and they won't. You won't see them in at the church picnic or anything, or helping out anything. They just want to start pushing their culture on Ireland, and as we say in Ireland, Chucky or law, our day will come. Our day must have came and it's gone, because people have falsified that, whatever, the prophecy or whatever. They try to replace it with financial stability and economy, and this economy thing is nonsense, because it's not the common people. They're struggling to put food on the table, pay rent, pay bills. You need a car. You have all these Green Party people, and they're saying, oh, cycle to work and all that. There's no cycle lanes. Where I'm from, you can go about a half kilometre out of the village, and you're cycling beside trucks, and then trucks are in a hurry, and you can't cycle. You can't cycle to the next village anymore, and people drive too fast, and they're looking at phones. It's not a safe place to cycle. And I haven't lived there since 2002, but that's the way it is. And I live in this town nearby, and it's far from home from me, and I'd rather be in Germany and not really having any friends or anything, just the regular social things. You talk to your neighbour, you say hello, and you go to the shop and you get your food and you cook and you say hello on the way back, and you go for your walk in a place like this and sit around and relax. Whereas in Ireland, I have people saying hello to me and asking me, do I feel well, and the thing is with them, a lot of them are these prescription medication junkies, and they want to know if you have anxiety or depression or something, so they can get your medication off you, or try and sell you some drugs to up the benefits of your poison drugs and whatever. Like, this is an antidepressant for me. It's sitting out in this air and fresh air, and you hear about this Green Ireland thing, and it's not, you're trespassing, and the roads are too dangerous to walk, and the towns are obnoxious because you have this like hello, how are you, and it's just people trying to bleed information out of you. Well, in Germany, they might not say hello, but they're a lot nicer people than you have in Ireland, and that'd be saying hello and talking to you and getting information, and you're educating an enemy in the long run. And I've had people saying, oh, how do you go abroad and you don't have family or friends or any? Look, you have nobody. You have nobody, really. Like, you could have 20 kids and you die on your own, and because they have their own lives and they have work commitments and stuff, and they can't come see you or anything. They're trapped in their room because they can't afford the bus to go out socially or anything. They can't put petrol in their car, and they don't just want to sit there in your house and tell you, yeah, any chance of a few potatoes and a bit of meat, because I can't afford to cook much more this week because I had to pay this electricity bill for being stuck in the house all day. Yeah, well, I'm going to leave it at that, and I think if you don't want to listen to me rant and rave, you could put this on mute and play some music in the background and just enjoy the scenery. And it's the reason I don't want to appear in my videos, because you start getting comments. Hey, I see it. I see it on YouTube a lot. Hey, he was wearing that hoodie yesterday. You were wearing that t-shirt yesterday. You didn't say if you don't have an opinion, and it's even worse for women YouTubers to have to be like. I know their thingies will get a lot of attention and get them more views with the thumbnail, but that's about it. And I'd just like to say, I don't really ask people to subscribe and like because I'm not sure what direction I'm heading this channel in at the moment. Maybe I'll do more stuff like this. Maybe not. Maybe you won't upload again for a few years. I don't know. Just subscribe, like, share. I don't know about sharing either. You can if you want. I don't know where you'd share it. Really? Check out my links below. Yeah, I'm not putting you in any funnel or anything. I don't believe in that. I know the theory behind it and all, and I just like blogging and going online and stuff, and doing things online rather than consuming all the time. And I know about newsletters, and I could use an exit blocker or whatever to get more emails, addresses and stuff for a mailing list. I don't do all that. I don't even put, I say, if my stuff is good on any of my sites, you can come back, the people will remember the name and come back to them. So I'm just going to leave you with this beautiful scenery here in Bayern, Bavaria. And I hope you are having a better day than me even. I'm having a kind of a good day, but I hope you're having a better day. Okay, ciao.